Today I'm going to talk about a person. He wasn't a prophet or anyone, a messenger or anything. He was just a normal person. His name was Luqman. He was a really wise man, and Allah was so happy with him that he got his own surah in the Quran. Allah was so proud of him of what he did. He gave him a surah. So let me talk a little bit about Luqman alayhi wasallam and who he was. He wasn't a prophet or a messenger, and he lived during the time of Dawood alayhi wasallam and Beit Sulaiman alayhi wasallam's time. He was born in southern Egypt, but then he moved to Palestine. In some hadiths and some scholars, they say that he was a slave, and his master treated him like very harshly, like how other masters treated their slaves. But once his master found out that he was really knowledgeable and wise, he came close to him and like took care of him much better, and eventually freed him. So let's talk about some of the good things that Luqman alayhi wasallam did and showed his wisdom. So this one time, Luqman alayhi wasallam's master, he asked Luqman to take one of his sheep, slaughter it, and bring the best part out of him. So Luqman alayhi wasallam took the sheep, slaughtered it, and brought back the tongue and the heart. And then the next day, his master said to do the same thing, but bring the worst part of the sheep. And Luqman alayhi wasallam took the sheep and brought back the tongue and the heart again. So his master said, why did you do that? And Luqman alayhi wasallam said, the tongue and the heart could be the best thing, but it could also be the worst thing of someone. So it's showing us that you could use your tongue and heart in a good way. For example, reading Quran and thinking about Allah and remembering Allah, or in a bad way. For example, backbiting and sinning. So this is one of the many wise things that he did. In Surah Luqman, mostly it talks about how Luqman alayhi wasallam raised his child. He had a child and he was raised very well, and Allah shows how he was raised. The first thing Luqman alayhi wasallam taught his son, he said to his son, "O my son, do not ascribe any partners with Allah. Indeed, it is extreme injustice." So this is showing us that the first thing Luqman alayhi wasallam taught his son was to not do shirk, which means put any partners with Allah, because this is an unforgivable sin. So he's showing to his son not to do the worst deeds first. Next, he told that you can't hide anything from Allah. He'll always know what you're doing, and no matter where you are, what you think, he'll always know. So he's telling his son to fear Allah and think before doing what you're trying to do. The third thing he told his son was to establish his prayers. Notice how he says establish his prayers. He doesn't say to do his prayers or anything. He tells him to establish them, do it properly, and not rush his prayers, like how some people just rush their prayers. So he gives all this good advice. He tells him to not have pride, to be with good people, not be with bad people. But one thing I found interesting was in this surah, before he gave any advice to his son, he would always directly say, "Oh my son," which in Arabic would mean "Ya bunayya." But in one instance, he didn't. In the surah, it didn't say that, and this was about parenting, like how to respect your parents. Instead of saying "Ya bunayya," Allah in the Quran, He said to everyone, not just Muslims, but everyone in the world, of how to respect your parents and to show them respect, give them company, talk to them, and treat them well. Because they're your parents, you can't disrespect them or anything. It says not to disrespect, but some people might get confused with disrespect and disagreement. They're two different things. If someone disagrees with someone, it doesn't mean that you're disrespecting someone. So there's two different things. And it also says in the surah to treat your parents with the highest respect and not to try to think that you're smarter than your parents. Your parents raised you and they're always smarter than you. And you shouldn't try to think that you're smarter and fix their mistakes. So this is what I learned from Surah.